Do you know what Big Pharma fears more than anything? Will RFK have the audacity to do this? Because this would absolutely crush Big Pharma. It's not removing the liability privilege. It's not removing any of the special government contracts they have. It's not banning former Big Pharma employees from working for the FDA. It is something that nobody talks about. And I have no idea why, because it is the absolute most important power of Big Pharma. That is the special privilege they get of having market exclusivity for up to 80 years in some cases. Legislation that was passed in the 1970s and 1980s allows Big Pharma, when it creates a product, to have a 12 to 20-year patent on that product, meaning that they make a drug, 10 other companies could make the drug too, but they're not allowed to sell it until the patent expires. Hence, they could charge whatever they want for it. And especially if it's a life or death drug, you could charge somebody, I don't know, what would you be willing to pay to save your life? Anything. So they are literally holding people's lives hostage. I know about this. I come from the private sector. I worked for a company who sold one of the most expensive drugs in the world, over $100,000. And it was for a rare disease that was a deadly disease, multi-billion-dollar company. And you know what the company spent the vast majority of its time and energy on? Not developing new products, not making their product cheaper or better. They spent the majority of their time in Washington lobbying and developing a slightly different variant of their current product. They sold one product. They spent the majority of their time developing a nearly identical drug with a slight, maybe 1% variant, so they could get a new patent. And they try to make this argument that, oh, if you took the patents away, there'd be no incentive for them to create new drugs. Oh, give me a break. There's always an incentive to create new drugs. You're still going to make money from it. You're just not going to be the biggest industry in the world because you're holding people's lives hostage. Let me read you some stats. According to IMAC, the top 12 brand drugs in the market are protected by a total of, ready, 848 patents, 71 patents per drug, providing an average of 38 years per drug without competition. Imagine that. You create something for 38 years, you don't have to compete, and your product is life or death for somebody. So people who create a product that can also save people's lives aren't allowed to offer a more competitive price in the market. That is pure evil. Here's some examples. Revlimid, a very commonly used cancer drug approved by the FDA in 2005. However, due to lots of lobbying and over 96 patents, allowing the drug to be protected by the patent for up to 40 years, meaning it is the only cancer drug on the market for this particular disease. So nobody else who's capable of creating the product can offer a more affordable price. We're talking about cancer. I cannot believe this is something that nobody talks about. Again, RFK. I don't hear him talk about this enough, but I think if enough of us bring this to his attention, he's not going to ignore it. Like, this is the time to do it. This is the window to do earth-shattering changes that change everything, turn the entire system upside down. Another example, Humira, the world's best-selling drug, used to treat arthritis and lots of other long-term conditions. It's been available since 2002 with 132 patents protecting it. So competitors could be blocked from competing with Humira for up to 39 years, giving it market exclusivity for 39 years. What are we talking about? It's the most common drug in the world, and we can't have other companies who can create the same product for the cheaper price. Diabetes, insulin. We've all heard the politicians singing and dancing about insulin, and oh yeah, we put price caps on insulin. Both sides talk about that the last 8 years. But did you know the diabetes insulin treatment called Lantus may be protected by patents for up to 37 years because 49 patents prevent competitors from competing with it, offering a cheaper price? What are we talking about? Why do people not talk about the patents? Why are we trying to do price caps instead of letting others compete? So I'm sure you're asking the question, are there examples of a patent expiring and seeing what happens to the price? And yes, there are. Watch this. Ready? So when a patent expires, on average, it leads to a 90% drop in the price of a drug. When the patent expires, it results in a 90% drop in the cost of that drug. Here's some examples of that. Here's a Pfizer drug called Lipitor. The patent expired in 2011, and look at what happens. Look at this chart right here. Before the patent expires, they're making over $10 billion a year. And then after it expires, boom, down to about $2 billion per year. Why is that? Because before the patent expired, they were charging $5 per pill. And this is the type of thing where you have to take multiple pills per day. After the patent expires, it's about 10 cents per pill. Next, AstraZeneca's drug Nexium goes from $8 per pill to 30 cents a pill after the patent expires in 2014. Another AstraZeneca drug, Seroquel, goes from $12 a pill to 30 cents a pill when the patent expires. And these are the cheap examples. We're talking about a difference of $500 a month to like $10, $20 a month. Now, here are the heartbreaking, expensive examples that bankrupt people. Libmedley, $4.25 million per treatment. This drug is a gene therapy developed for kids with a rare genetic disease that is fatal without treatment. Who the hell is able to pay $4.25 million per treatment? Zynteglo, $2.8 million. This is a drug for a rare blood disease. $2.8 million per treatment. Zolgensma, $2.1 million for a one-time dose for kids with a rare spine disorder who are under 2 years old. Libmedley is likely protected until 2035 to 2040 because of patent protections. Zynteglo likely protected through 2035 because of patents. Same for Zolgensma. What are our priorities here? What other industry has this setup where they have market exclusivity, a monopoly on saving lives? Think about it. We have anti-monopoly laws, but in this one sector, this one industry, we're allowing a monopoly for nearly the lifetime of a person for products that save lives. And yes, I get it that the product wouldn't exist in the first place without the incentive to invent it, but you could still get rich if you invent this thing. This is a topic I've always been obsessed with, and I brought it up to PBD last year, and he had a great idea for it. He said that when a new company creates a similar product that can fulfill the same service, the original creator gets a revenue share for the duration of the patent. I think that's a pretty fair compromise, but we're talking about health here. You can't block competitors from making a cheaper life-saving drug. That is crazy. That is evil. I was going to say I can't believe that people are willing to do that, but I could believe it. Like at the last place I worked at, blew my mind. There was a stretch of time where the entire company was nervous because the patent was about to expire. And every day, the C-suite people and the executives are like, oh, yeah, we're in DC lobbying to try to get our patent extended. Dude, you're well aware of the thousands of people who are going bankrupt, paying way over fair market value for your product because nobody else is allowed to compete with you. So with all that said, I would like to see RFK take action on this issue because this is one of those now or never things. I mean, this is a bold thing to take on, but this is the power center of Big Pharma. This is the nucleus of all their power. The reason they have multi-billion-dollar market caps is because of this rule. This privilege is what makes them multi-billion-dollar companies. If you take this away from them, they'll keep producing, they'll keep doing their thing, but they will be much less powerful, which is what we all need. So I hope this message finds its way to RFK and to the Trump administration, because this is something that I've been trying to yell off the mountaintops for a long time, but now there's actually an administration in DC that might consider doing this. And I'm very optimistic about that. So I'm going to be posting videos like this for the next 4 years, trying to get as many of these things to their attention as possible, because I'm the type of person who focuses on problems and offers solutions. Thank you for watching, and double thank you if you try to share this to people who need to see it. For more content like this, check out my Patreon. The link is below. I will see you there. God bless.